Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. This is going to be a martial arts talk and demo. Alright? Damn it, I gotta shut this door. Okay, quite a few things we got to get off the bat. All right. So first, let's discuss weapons. All right. One, a weapon is an extension of your skill set, unless you don't have skills. All right. Something that everybody talks about but don't bring up. So if you don't have skills, that's gonna happen. Clock out. That's gonna happen. That will help you develop skills real fast. But just because you can work these things doesn't mean that you can or should fight with these things. All right? Both of these cameras look like they're like not even really on me, like talking about it. Anyway, shit. All right. So I say this a lot, and I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. All right, one. You can have all the weapon skills in the world, but you don't know who you're fighting until the fight actually starts. So again, you got your strikes, you got your blocks, block, 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 block. But the thing is, if you swing this the right way and someone gets this in, now you're both in a tug of war. Alright? You don't ever want to be in a position where you have to tug of war somebody with your weapon. Alright? Regardless of what you may know, regardless of what you think you may know, fights do not work that way. Fights are very situational. Fights change at the drop of a hat and the blink of an eye. Anybody teaching martial arts, if they don't teach you that, you should probably leave their dojo immediately. Because just because someone's good in the dojo does not mean they're going to be good in the streets. Just because someone's good in the street doesn't mean they're going to be good in the dojo. How do I know this? Because I'm not good in the dojo. I can't do kata 5, 7, 9, or 10 in any goddamn style to get a belt. Which, before this video ends, we will be talking about the black belt system and why I am against it. I've mentioned this before, but we'll save it for the end. See, the thing about a weapon is you got your arm times the distance of this weapon. So my arm, if I had someone holding this way out there, you'd be able to see the distance of that weapon. If that person is in close quarters, my hand needs to be like this so you can see that I can strike faster, versus if they're in mid-range quarters versus long range. And now you see that happens. You don't have a grip on your weapon. That's why you don't bring weapons to a fight. So did you know that was not purposely done? These things have tape on them so that I can have a grip on them. I normally also put on my blue and black gloves. These blue and black gloves. So the reason why they're not on right now is because this video is more of a talk versus a demonstration. Alright? And you gotta understand that when you are in a fight, weapons are convenient if you have them. They're inconvenient if you have them and don't know how to use them. Alright? Another example. Alright? I'm gonna whip out this chain. I know you guys see me do the same old bullshit time and time again. I'm glad that you guys haven't caught me on it, and I thank you for that. But it is the truth. And if you guys are familiar with this line from Demon Slayer, with the guy with the yellow hair who only knows that one move to pure perfection, because the sensei was smart enough to know that this guy has a learning curve, so I have to give him this one move that he has to pure perfection. See right here, if you're in this little spot right here, I got you all in short range. Now, if I want to go long range or extra long range, see what's going to happen is I don't have a whole lot of control. Now from here, I got you most of the time. But see, here's the thing. The reason why I do it in a half is because I have more control. Now, if I have it in a half, I got all the control in the world in this thing. Even when I fuck up, I can recover. See that? Then I can go back the other way. Okay? With this long ass range weapon, unless you're stronger than me and can take a beating to get this from me, I got you dead to rights from this far away. If I really want to get you, just one hand that shit. And always remember, this is how they're gonna swing it. They're not gonna swing that shit like you just seen me doing. They're not gonna be doing this shit. 9 times out of 10, someone who doesn't know what they're doing, they're gonna swing that bitch widely. Because they aren't aware of this. Maybe they don't know how to work a meteor hammer or a long dart, or a chain dart, or a simple ass chain. Hope that ball was on camera. But the thing about a weapon is, it's only as good as the person that's wielding it times the person who they're fighting. If you're fighting someone who's a little bit better with that, you're in deep shit. Y'all see me practice with my hands tied all the time, to the front and the back. The reason for that is the possibility of me having to get handcuffed or tied up. Knowing that I can fight this way doesn't mean that you can fight this way. Doesn't mean that you can't if you are trained properly. But you know, not too many people know how to train somebody with their hands tied. It's not something that you see every day. It's not something that people practice every day. This is some 1975 shit. Yeah, maybe 1985. But it's not something that you see every day. Alright? Very few people in very few movies, you see them fighting with their hands tied. However, I would like to change that if someone would like to give me an acting job. But in all seriousness, this only proves that it can be done. It doesn't prove that it should be done. Alright? Because if I'm fighting and I'm blocking and someone decides to sweep my foot, or if it's 2 versus 1 and my hands are tied, I'm the one with the problem because my hands are tied. That's the reality of having your hands tied, whether they're in the front or the back. If you're fighting 2 people, you got to get this wedgie. You got to be able to prepare yourself for that shit. You know, if your hands are tied behind your back, you are limited. You know, you are not going to be the badass that you see on TV. And my alarm's going off.
Push-ups
Sorry
time
about that.
at 6:30 p.m.
Push-ups are going to have to take a back seat for just a little bit. Anyway, if I got 2 people and at least one of them is blocking my door, you know, my hands are tied behind me, I'm the one with the problem. They're not the ones with the problem. I'm the one with the problem. If they both decide to attack me at the same time and it's not a well thought out plan, I got a fighting chance. But if it's a well thought out plan and my hands are tied behind me, I got one option. I better be able to outrun them. But as our dear master of McDojo life has said, what if you can't outrun them? Well, that's your ass. Now, if my hands are like this, I can run a little better. But again, what if you can't outrun them? So you better have some skill set, you know. Block, 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 block. You got 2-on-1, you got a problem. A big problem. Because your hands are tied. And if you're not a good fighter, you're fucked. It's not that difficult. Notice I never take the chance to do anything blocking with my feet because the reality is, you may not get the chance. Same thing with short sticks. Chobos, whatever the fuck you want to call them. Like I said, you know, you get the block and strike, you get the block and strike. That's it. You're not doing this, or none of this other shit. Because once that fight starts, if these bitches leave your hand, you've just lost your ass. Because they're going to beat the shit out of you. Period. You got commas. And yeah, a lot of guys are working with the real McCoys, and they have them, and they're doing this, and they're not fucking themselves up. Those things haven't been short. Hold on. What is it, woman?
Oh, I was just checking on Kearney. I'm heading to the office now.
Yeah, you interrupted my live and my YouTube, and I already gave his freaking medicine.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I'm outside,
All right.
so.
Okay. All right. Are the girls still there?
Nobody's here, except for Nassan.
Oh, where did the girls go?
They went home with their mama. I'm busy.
Okay, bye.
Sorry, TikTok. I mean, Instagram. Sorry, Instagram. I got a phone call. That's what screwed that up. You can see what you missed, plus hear a phone call on my YouTube channel of Kung Fu Havoc #2. Back to what I'm saying. If you're fighting with these bitches right here, boom, boom, boom is what you're gonna do. Not block, swirl, and that. Because you're gonna probably cut your fucking arm to pieces. Boom. Or that's gonna happen. So you're not gonna be doing that shit, man. You know, it's fine for the movies. I let you guys know what's good for the movies. Boom. That's some movie shit right there. Here's real life. Block, strike. It's stuck in someone's body. Boom. So you can still have your weapon. If it's stuck in their armor, you're gonna have to work. And when I say you're gonna have to work, I literally mean that. Now with Tonfa, it's the same damn thing. Your spin out is gonna be important. Block, spin. That doesn't work for me. Block, spin. Block, spin. That works for me because it's a comfort level. It's not going to be your comfort level. You're going to learn your comfort level. You might like jab and then spin out. I prefer jab and then spin that way. I prefer the spinning out versus the spinning from within. But as a martial artist, I can only teach you so much. Nothing is going to be a better teacher to you than experience. Nothing. No one you follow on the internet, nothing that anybody tells you is going to beat your own fucking experience. I understand that shit. When I first started taking Taekwondo, we had to get a yellow belt. I believe it was called Tosan. I'm going to attempt that and totally fuck it up. Just let you know. Started off here. 1, left, 2, left, 3, left. Alright, then I had to go back. So block 1, switch, block 2, switch, block 3, switch, block 4. And then it was 1, 2, right, 1, 2, right, 1, 2, right, 1, 2. And yes, I'm going to my left. But that's pretty much what it was. And I had to do it again in reverse. And at the end, I still can't get a yellow belt. There's some kicks involved, and I just couldn't remember the form. Then we switched to the hard hand and had to do Tungu or Tangu or whatever the fuck Jim Ennis called the shit. That shit started off with a strike, ice cream scoop, punch, ice cream scoop step, ice cream scoop, all kinds of other fucking shit that in here was like I was in La La Land. I heard everything he said. I saw everything he did, and I couldn't do it. But when we had sparring matches, I was one of the top dogs in sparring matches because I was taught how to physically use martial arts, not how to do katas to earn belts. I never joined martial arts to learn how to get a belt. I never gave a damn about a belt because in the end, I got a belt right here. Holds up my pants very nicely. Will I ever have to use this belt? Well, I can, as a combat weapon. I can. I can be nasty and swing the buckle. That's what a belt does for me. Holds up my pants. Then you got these die-hard black belts and all these other motherfuckers just gonna tell me I'm full of shit, and that's fine. But ask yourself a question. If you are one of those die-hard black belts, 10th degree, 7th degree, 8th degree, whatever fucking degree you are, how many fights you've been in the streets where you have literally broke down and started doing forms and shit thinking that was going to intimidate somebody or scare somebody? You didn't. Because if you did, then you're lying through your fucking teeth. I have beaten black belts in sparring matches, and I have beaten black belts on the streets. But they're black belts. They're supposed to be the be-all of the top dogs of all martial arts. Get over yourself. A belt, the whole belt system is a system of control. And I hate to say this, but it is a system of control designed to hold people who actually can fight down versus people who can't. And I say that respectfully, and y'all don't have to like it, y'all don't have to believe it, and it's fine. I'm gonna tell you right now, when it comes down to it, that belt ain't gonna mean shit when you rock up on the right goddamn guy. You can be a black belt and go up against a bouncer in a bar, and that bouncer can kick your ass. Just as easy as you went to church on Sunday, just as easy as you went to martial art practice on a Saturday, it might not be your day to win. It might not be written in the clouds that you're supposed to win this one. And every time you make a mistake, that bouncer's on top of you like shit on a stick. So then what? Your belt says, hey, I'm the best of the best of the best of the best of the motherfucking best. If that was the case, the bouncer wouldn't be able to throw you out the club. And neither would 3 of his other backup people, because you would be just that bad. I understand a lot of people get these black belts and think they badasses from Jump Street. I got a black belt, I'm a badass. Yeah, okay. Until you meet that guy who's a little bit better than you. Alright? That's the thing a lot of people don't understand about martial arts. There is no superior martial art. There are superior martial artists in set martial arts. There's always going to be somebody who's a kung fu badass. There's always going to be somebody who's a wushu badass. There's always going to be somebody who's a gung fu or JKD or Taekwondo or Kempo or any other mixed martial art badass. And everybody's going to see them, and some of them are going to be hyped up, and you're either going to believe the hype or not believe the hype until you find out the hard way that maybe, just maybe, you might have should have believed the hype. Happens. 9 times out of 10, this is how things happen. I'll take you back to my 11th grade year in high school. Nobody believed that I could do shit. Although, 4 years before that, I think it's 4 years, let's see, 11, 10, 9, 8, yeah. So, 4 years before that in the 8th grade, even though everybody in West Haven saw me beat up 2 guys in 1 week. Technically, it was 3 guys. The first guy was on Monday. That was a skirmish. That wasn't really a fight. He didn't really know as much martial arts as I did. He knew martial arts, but he wasn't as good as me. He could have beat my ass if he was a little bit better. I'm not going to deny that. And we was good friends at the time. We still good friends now. Shout out to him. I'm not going to reveal his name. I don't reveal the names of anybody whose asses I kicked out of respect. The next damn day, I got into a fight on the bus. It never got physical. It only got verbal. And somebody who knew me hyped it up so bad to make me look like I was the baddest motherfucker ever walking. So when we got off the bus, it was 2-on-1, and they ran. So I won that one by all logical accounts. Wednesday, I had a day off. Thursday, the 2 guys who ran from me, I had to fight one of their brothers. Start off with a wrestling match. So anybody who doesn't think I'm a wrestling fan, you are mistaken. My friend, I will name him because he was there. My friend David Hector Hutchison. Much love to you, David. We were playing wrestling. Sting was real popular, and I wanted to be Sting. David beat me to the punch. He was Sting. I had to be Rugged Ronnie Garvin. That's right. Rugged Ronnie Garvin, NWA champion. Rugged Ronnie Garvin. I hope you're still alive. Much love to you. Now, here I am. Ain't none of us people of color. We all black and colored people, but we all playing white people because there were no famous black wrestlers that were champions outside of Rocky Soul Man Jackson. But if you didn't watch, Johnson, if you didn't watch the WWF at the time, then you didn't know him. Alright? And the only black guy in the NWA was Rocky King. He had the weakest move and only won one time in his collegiate career as a WCW wrestler, and that was the Sunset Flip. But it was still NWA at the time. He won with the Sunset Flip. So if y'all don't know who wrestling is, believe me, I am a wrestling fan. My Instagram just paused. Anyway, I'm still gonna continue. So I'm playing Rugged Ronnie Garvin. I got 4 guys on me. One got this arm, one got this leg, one got this arm, one got this leg. This leg was the leg that was gonna do the damage. So I had to make a tag, but I couldn't because it was 4-on-1. So basically it was 4-on-2, but those 4 guys had me in the corner of this pissy mattress that we used to wrestle on. So I got the 2 of my arms first. Boom! They headbutted each other. They weren't supposed to. It was supposed to be fake wrestling, but this is when you find out wrestling, the moves are real. The stories is fake, but the moves are real and people get hurt. So they headbutted each other and they both fell on the pissy match and rolled off onto the grass. The guy had my leg, and my boy Dave was like, yo, dude, you know Kung Fu, right? I said, yeah, but Rugged Ronnie Garvin don't. Dude, you need to use your Kung Fu. So I snatched my leg in and kicked this guy. This guy, on the other hand, had a very good grip on my leg. So I had to do a pull kick. So I pulled in and pushed out, and he let go of me. That made him mad, so he wanted to start a real fight. So he went and picked up a stick, and I picked up an iron pole. I said, all right, here's how this works. We're going to hit each other. You get to hit me first, but I promise you I'm going to wrap this iron pole around your shit. So if you don't kill me with the first hit, I'm going to fuck your shit up. So he dropped his pole, I dropped mine, and we went about our way. We ain't played wrestling no more, period. The very next day, one of my siblings and I got into it. And she got like the spirit of Hermes under her feet, and she ran to the big Children's Park. I could not catch her. Normally she couldn't outrun me on her best day. That day God was in her, and she outran me. I trapped her at a fence, I grabbed her, I tried to pull her off the fence. And the guy that I had to get the fighting with, he was 13. I was 15. Not gonna reveal his name. Just know he was big as shit. And them golf cleats, I will show you. They dry rotted. They're dry rotted as hell. No. You can see them. These Mizuno, first to the company, thank you. Because y'all saved my life. I was 15, he was 13. I was 5'1", 5'2", 5'3" and a half now. He was every bit of 6'5". He had felt these golf clicks. Alright? So when I tell you something about size not mattering, I'm deadly serious. He had hit me in the head with those gravelly rock things. You know, all parks have them. And I had let my sibling go and stuck my finger up. And I turned around, looked at him, and asked him why he did that. And he sat down like, what the fuck you gonna do about it? Now when he sat down, well, he technically was already sitting down. You know, when tall people sit down, sometimes it's kind of hard to tell. And my dumb ass, I should have probably walked away that day. But there was nowhere to go. We were fenced in. I walked over to that young man, and with all my might and my left hand, bam! And I did not hurt him. I did not hurt him. His chin barely rocked, especially since I didn't hit him in the chin, I hit him in the cheek. His face barely twitched. And then right then and there, I knew I was a dead man. Straight up, I knew I was a fucking dead man. I had these cleats on, and I saw my life flash before my eyes. Because he stood up, and when he stood up, I was like, oh my fucking God. And it was like my body was right there, and my soul jumped out and said, you dead, buddy. Pushed me. I slid back into a fighting position, and these damn things went to his ass. First kick I did was a front kick. Boom! Right to the face. Didn't hurt him. If anything, it pissed him off. But I knew he had some weaknesses. I knew that he had asthma. And that's what saved my life. Knowing my enemy saved my life. I knew he had asthma because months before we had a conflict, but we didn't get physical. And I had told him that if we ever had a conflict, it wasn't going to work out the way he thought it was going to work out. Because he was bigger than me, he just knew he was going to whoop my ass. I thought he was going to kill me that day, which is probably what saved me because I was scared as shit. I'm not going to lie about that shit. I was scared as shit. He came at me. After the kick didn't hurt him, I figured that I could induce an asthma attack. So I hit him 3 times. That's what I remember. I hit him 3 times. He dove to the ground and grabbed my right foot. This is a left shoe. This is the one that did him in. That's why I have this shoe. I took this shoe. Boom, 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 boom. I never stopped. Then the security guard came. I left off important parts because I'm not about embarrassing people and shit. But the cop came. His name was Granger. God rest his soul. Picked the big guy up, dusted him off, sent him on his way home. Told me that if I got into one more damn fight over there, that they was going to evict our family. Now, me foreshadowing, I didn't know we were moving out, but I straight told the old fucker, I said, well, fuck you, buddy. We moving out anyway. Secondly, he started it. He said, well, that's not what I saw. It doesn't matter what you saw. Now, to go back to where I started hitting him in the stomach, I remember only throwing 3 punches. Everyone else said that I threw more. I don't remember that shit. Now, there is a condition for that, and I don't know what it's called, but I only remember throwing 3 punches with my left hand. When his helper came, who will remain nameless, my hand felt like it was on fire, and I couldn't hit his helper. I knew that if I hit his helper, I was probably going to kill that person, which is why I took my foot to his face, because I didn't want to hit the helper. I just decided to take the abuse out on him. So my foot in this shoe just kept going like this. So I'm kicking him forward and kicking him backwards, kicking him forward, kicking him backwards. At the time, all of these cleats, because the shoes were new at the time, these shoes have saved my ass. And there goes the cleat. Fantastic. Just so that you see, in case you didn't, that just fell off. She's right here. That just fell off. So, at the time of this beatdown, I was probably more scared of fucking getting my ass kicked than anything else in my life. That was like the most scariest fight I had. But it had to be done, and this cleat cannot be restored. Okay, you're going in the trash, buddy. Thank you for your service, though. These shoes saved my ass. And understand, when people always say something about size matters, not to me. I have beaten giants. When you know what you're doing, size doesn't matter. It's when you don't know what you're doing, this size becomes a problem. And vice a situation. I had nowhere to go. The big children's park was fenced in. I couldn't use the tools around me. I had to use what I had, which was me. Which is why when I bring up weapons and shit, I always tell people the only weapon you ever need is the ones you were born with. Your brain, your fist, your forearms, your elbows, your knees, and your feet. Because everything else is just toys. It really is. Be right back. The thing you gotta understand about fighting. In any fight, regardless, unless it's a sporting event, you can't play. You have to fight to survive. You can't take your enemy lightly. You can't over-cockasize yourself. If you get too cocky, you get knocked. If you get underconfident, you're gonna get your ass beat too. So you're gonna have to understand that nature's gonna take its course. If you're not really good with your shit, you need to practice or you're going to sleep. If you think you're really good with your shit, you're going to find out the hard way that you're not as good as you think you are. I say this to everybody all the time, and though I have never physically lost a fucking fist fight when it counts, I've had to lose a couple sparring matches. I definitely lost a few sparring matches in the Army, especially when we were doing BJJ, because I suck at it. But one of my fellow soldiers in Delta, I forgive you, Fagan, we used the pugil sticks, and Fagan hit me in my dick with a pugil stick. It wasn't fun. And to have Drill Sergeant Haynes brush me off the mat, because I was done. I wasn't getting back up. I was winning. That's why they sent in the other guy. I was winning. I was whooping ass because I was good with my shit. I was also 37. So understand that your life skills and experience will be your main teacher. People are going to lead you astray, and you're going to have to find your path that works. And not everything that works for somebody is going to work for you. And you need to understand that when you get into this martial art game, this shit is for real. This shit ain't no fucking superpower flying through the air and all that other shit that you see on Dragon Ball Z. Granted, that's fun and fine if you're making a movie. Awesome. But when you get into real combat situation, everything is happening lightning fast. Faster than you can blink, you need to be able to think. Faster than you can process when you got hit, there's going to be another hit. And if you're not ready for that shit, you're going to sleep. Or you're going to be in a fetal position and somebody's going to be stomping your shit. I'm a strong believer in this. First, if possible, don't let the fight go to the ground. Alright? Because most people can't really fight anyway, so they got to ground and pound your ass to get a victory. So don't let the fight go to the ground. Now, I just pissed off a lot of motherfuckers that do martial arts right there. But all fights go to the ground. No, they don't. Every fight that I've been in since I was 6 years old until I started sparring in the Army never went to the ground. In the Army, I didn't have a choice because we were taught BJJ on our backs. So therefore, it was on the ground. But every fight before I ever got into the Army has never gone to the ground. You can stop somebody from taking you to the ground. But if you can't, you need to be able to adapt to fighting on the ground. BJJ ain't the only martial art that implores fighting on the ground. Alright? BJJ is just one of the best martial arts at imploring fighting on the ground. But here's the thing. If you're fighting in a sport, you know, their job is to make you tap or win by points. And in real life, no one's going to give a fuck if you're tapping. They're not. Now, I just pissed off a lot of other people with that. But I'm not lying. If I got you on the ground and you tapping, that don't mean shit to me. We fighting. We ain't at no sporting arena. We in the backyard. We ain't at no sporting arena. We in the motherfucking streets. Everybody's watching. If you think I'm going to stop while you're tapping, no, I'm going to break something. And the first person that comes to help you, I'm going to break something on them, even if they're my friend. Because I don't know what their fucking intention is. Why, even if my friend? Depends on the friend. If for somebody I love like a brother and I know they not gonna hurt me, and if I can get calmed down long enough to realize who the fuck it is, then they're gonna be fine. But if I don't see who it is because I'm focused on this person, anybody who grabs me, they've just become a target. And I'm sorry if y'all don't like that shit. But this is the reality of fighting, man. When you are in a fight and somebody comes up behind you, you are going to react before you think. You are not going to look and then strike. No, you're gonna boom, because you're beating this person and somebody grab, bam. That's automatic. That's going to be something that you have been taught, depending on who's teaching you martial arts. It's also going to be something that's going to become muscle memory or second nature to you, depending on how much you train. I will give you one last story before I get into the talking part, even though I'm already talking. I was 23 years old. So this is when they tell you that as a martial artist, you're not supposed to make mistakes. As a human being, you will make plenty of them. I went to go visit my dad. I was 23 years old. I was in Richmond. I had a red Ford Festiva. My dad was not at my stepmom's house. Technically, it was my stepsister's house. But I went there to go see my dad for some odd-ass reason. It was a Friday. I didn't have to work. So I had the weekend off. I rode down to Richmond. I went to go see my dad. I love my dad. I hurt my dad. Wasn't intentional. I got to Richmond about 4:30, 5 o'clock. I got to their house about roughly 15 after whatever time I got there. My dad wasn't there because he went to go do something else, but he snuck up on me. You do not sneak up on me. That is probably the worst idea that you can do. His hands came across my shoulders. Now, I was taught by some teachers to grab the wrist, pull the shoulders up, and pull his elbows down. I could have broke both of his arms. I didn't do that, thank God. What I did was a back elbow. Bam! Never looked, didn't give a fuck. All I saw was his hands. I did what I was taught to do. I split my father's mouth from his 2 front teeth all the way back to his wisdom teeth or his molars. So however his face was is how he took the hit. He couldn't go to the doctor until Monday. So he has Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that he has to take all kinds of medicine for his mouth that I split the fuck open by not paying attention to what the fuck I was doing, but instead doing what I was taught. Instead of looking to see who my target was, I just blindly threw an elbow. That's gonna happen if you've been as training as long as I have been training. I've been training since I was 7 years old. I'm 48 now. If you think for a New York minute that you aren't gonna accidentally hurt people, time for reality. I've hurt more than my father by accident. I've hurt people without even fucking trying, which is why I don't really spar with people, because I can't cut this shit off. If you hit me hard, I'm gonna hit you harder. It's not the way it's supposed to be because that's bad sportsmanship. It's another reason why I didn't play football or any of these other things, because if I get hit and I get hit hard, I'm gonna fuck somebody's shit up. A lot of people can play that shit off and be alright. I can't, because I'm small. And people think that they're going to do what the fuck they want to me. They always have, they always will. And I know that going in at 5'3". So understand that shit. You are in control of you to a certain degree. You do enough training, you are in control of you until you are not. Alright? I don't let people sneak up on me. When I meet you, I tell you from the jump, hi, I'm Echo, or hi, I'm James, depending on which one you meet me. If you meet me offset, like somewhere on the streets, yeah, I'm James. But if you're meeting me on the set and we about to work together, hi, I'm Echo. Get used to it. But I will let you know from the jump, look, whatever you do, we'll always be cool as long as you do not sneak up on me. If you sneak up on me, we might not be friends no more, and it's going to be your decision because I'm probably going to fuck you up. I do not have reflex control. If you sneak up on me and you get fucked up, that's on you. It's not on me. Which is why I tell people all the time, look, it's cool. You have to let me know that you are there. I have almost hit my boss a few times because they did not let me know that they are there. I was worse before I got in the Army. You could not sneak up on me without me jumping into battle mode. And I don't take long to go from battle mode to fight mode. So they're not the same. Battle mode is just getting ready. Fight mode is when the action has already taken place. And you have to understand how this shit works. Battle mode. Fight mode. I'm already in fight mode. Once battle mode shifts into gear, fight mode's right there. So I have to tell people, look, I mean this with the utmost respect. Do not ever, under any circumstances, sneak up on me. You need to let me know you're there. Or if anything happens to you, it's not going to be my fault. Okay, so there's a lot of people arguing. I will have to make up the martial art difference video later. It probably won't be tonight because I'm losing light now. But FYI, yo, please get real martial arts training before you do anything stupid. And more importantly, make sure that the person's training you is as much invested as you have invested in their wallet for them to teach you martial arts. That being said, I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2, BC and U. Okay.